Hello. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Register. So we have started the recording. Good afternoon, good morning, and uh, yeah, I think good morning and good afternoon would be the correct words. Welcome to the session 55. We'll get started in next 1 minute. Probably we have started the recording, so in case you want to discuss or you want to rename your name, because this will be recorded and it will be posted in the YouTube. So in case you want to wish or hide your name, you can do that now. Okay, perfect. Welcome everyone. Today we are in session 55. We are learning building agents through Microsoft Copilot Studio, and we will see in some examples from Sudhir sir, who is joining from Microsoft. He's a senior program manager, and he's right now in Hyderabad, I think. And we will hear from Sudhir sir directly. I would like to bring in the Dynamics user group, what we do and how it has been placed now. Dynamics user group, we started around 4 years back with a vision that we will be sharing the knowledge across the world, and we have been sharing. We have seen our our audience is growing day by day, and thank you for showing the love. And this is all force driven by Rachit sir. And Satya sir and Deepak Agarwal. I'm just helping a lot of other people, and a lot of volunteers has been there, and we have been keeping a lot of all the recorded sessions under the YouTube channel. So this is our YouTube icon. You can scan, follow them, and Twitter, and then we have LinkedIn pages as well. Group volunteers is been started by Rachit, myself, Umesh, Satya sir, and Deepak Agarwal. Um, we globally have more than 3,330 members across. All the recording past sessions are over here, and we wanted to declare one thing that most of the most of the demos shown here is always on the demo environment or on the sandbox. Do not apply directly to the production. Please use your demo environment or UAT to test before you apply to the production environment. No customer data to be leaked here, and we are not showing anything on the customer data. Okay, so today's session is being led by Sudhir Pahibal, who is directly joining in from Microsoft Hyderabad as a program manager. And over to you, Sudhir sir. Thank you.
Hey, first of all, thanks, Mesh. Thanks, all team members, giving me a chance to present myself and using this forum. Yeah. Good evening, good morning, everyone. As we described, we are going to cover on this session about agent. Okay, so I think many people are already aware about the agentic work going on around the world. And in recent session, what I identified, few people are having very basic knowledge. So I thought let's cover the fundamentals of agent and how we can leverage Copilot itself to build our agents. So I recently given one more session about creating your own agent by using telemetry, and I think it was a good starting for everyone who's who don't have much contents and want to start or build a basic agent for any kind of purpose. So basically, I'm from Dynamics background from FNO, but today's it's this topic is not specific to ARP or not specific to FNO. It's more about agent, how we can build your own agent, what kind of scenarios we can cover, and how we kind of know what are the components we can utilize available out of the box. Okay, so let me first share my screen.
Sure.
Yeah. Hope my
Yeah, it
screen
is.
is visible to all. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, visible.
Yeah. So the agenda of this kind of session to cover what are the how we can build our own agent. One second. Okay. So we all knows about Copilot Studio. Okay, in the screen itself, we see the option where we can start building our own agent. Okay, first let me cover the basic part, and then I will try to showcase how easily we can start building your agent. Okay, so as I mentioned, the agenda part. Okay, so the main thing we are going to cover is about the Copilot Studio. Uh, what is agent? What is the architecture, knowledge source, custom instructions, system prompt, tools, and all. So let me first start with the agentic part. Okay, few peoples are already using ChatGPT nowadays. Okay, and we see that uh, by using these technologies, we can get very our answers in natural language, and from there this AI word start, or things comes on our mind that AI is really helpful. Okay, but when we are using chat gpt, okay, the scope is very limited. We cannot go beyond the conversation. So the purpose of the agent, or the concept agent, comes that okay, how we can leverage this technology in different purpose or different areas where certain automations or kind of robotic work can be applied. Okay, so if we talk about Copilot Studio, okay, it having certain architecture which we have to understand. So basically we have uh, okay, basically we have a first foundation layer where basically the LLM comes into picture, where we have to use the predefined model. Okay, then we have orchestration layer where the Copilot Studio itself kind of comes to picture and it manages the conversation. Then we have knowledge layer where we define which LLM or which knowledge uh, will be used during that conversation. Okay, then we have action layer where we can define based on that conversation or based on the instructions how you can automate the things. Okay, and when we talk about automate, the action layer comes into picture, where you can kind of talk to third party application through MCP, or either you can use your or call your flows. Okay, then we have channel layer where we are kind of going beyond that Copilot Studio, and we are kind of leveraging other applications like chat or mobile app to kind of link with Copilot Studio. So this is the basic architecture. Any question on that? Shall I go ahead? If anyone has any question, please ask.
Let's make this interactive. If you have any questions, we can definitely take it here, or we can take it at end as well.
There is one question in the chat window. I'm not sure if you want to take it now. So it's from Jonas.
Mhm.
What are the pros and cons of different models, and when do you recommend not using OpenAI model? If you want to take it
Yeah.
now, we can take it.
So see, okay, this is a kind of journey. Okay, this different models. If you see the basic model, okay, started with a very basic thing. So what I suggest, no, you try with your own. Okay, try to build your basic agent and try to use a basic model, and then use the same agent, just change the model, and you will see the difference. Okay, so model means it's a kind of they have their own architecture, their own data. Okay, so the old data or the old model is having its own limitations of knowledge. Okay, so you will not be getting that kind of uh, uh, kind of detailed answer or details information which you are expecting. Okay, even I can give you example in my demo as well, that how the answers or output differ when we switch the model. Okay, but I think it's a good call. Let me try to cover that scenario in the demo. Okay, so uh, before I show the PPT, let me directly show the agent itself, which agent I'm going to cover today for my demo. Okay, so I thought, and this thought came in my mind, Umesh, during our discussion, that what kind of agent we can start preparing. So I thought, what about building an agent for kind of as a travel planner. Okay, so as I told, right, my intention is to make audience more comfortable to understand how easily they can start building their own agent. Okay, so let's say I want to build an agent to which can help me to make my travel plan. Okay, so definitely I can use ChatGPT and I can say that, okay, I'm planning to go here and there for these days. Okay, give me the best places. Definitely you will get some kind of information. But what think from enterprise point of view, where you are kind of a travel agent and you have your own website or mobile app, okay, and you want end user to use it and use a AI experience, okay. So how you would like to kind of manage it? So definitely you have your own kind of places where you kind of manage your guest. Okay, you have your own travel vehicles. Okay, your own costing models, everything, right? So you don't want chat GPT or kind of kind of open conversation. You want that entire conversation should go based on your data. Okay, so first of all you have to start kind of train your agent that, okay, this is my data, and based on that let's kind of provide information uh, to my client. Okay, so if I go to agent and I say, okay, uh, here I have option where I can create a blank agent, or I can provide a description over here that, okay, I want to build an agent for my travel assistant purpose. Okay, which I have already done. Okay, now the next action is you have to provide the agent description, and then you have to provide the instructions how this agent is going to work. So if you have already tried it, well, otherwise what you can see itself that when you provide basic instructions that, okay, I want to build an agent for travel planning. Okay, you just provide your description how you want your agent to work, what is its role, how it's going to work and all, right? But again, as I told, right, you want that agent that can help end user to make a travel plan. So obviously it requires some data, like, so can where from I can generate that data? You can simply use Copilot and you can say, okay, hey Copilot, uh, sorry, help me to prepare a demo or kind of data for my agent, okay, which is going to help for travel planning. Okay, so I'm not doing anything. I'm using Copilot itself to build my agent. Okay, and what I'm doing here, since I want to build a knowledge source, I don't want to spend my time where I create an Excel sheet. In the Excel sheet, first I provide, okay, these are the places and these are the nearby locations. These are location type. Okay, and all those things. Okay, I can do it. If you have that data, yes, you can go ahead. But if you want to I don't know, start building your own agent, I would say you can start leveraging Copilot itself. Okay, so what I'm saying, help me to prepare data for my agent is going to help for travel planning. Okay, travel planning as Excel sheet, which should have all the kind of tourist locations belongs to India, and should also have the uh, nearby location, okay, with location type etc. The Excel can have multiple multiple sheet, okay, which I'm going to use as a knowledge source for my agent. Okay, you can simply write in your own language and take help. It will generate the kind of knowledge source kind of data. Okay, I have already did it. I use different tool. Okay, because Copilot was generating me kind of a very basic file. I use Claude and I got kind of a better sheet. Okay, so you can see, right, it's already prepared some basic data for you as a template. Okay, so if you're a kind of an enterprise or you are a kind of agent, you can use that data to add your own items and all. Okay, and then you can ask here, give provide me the for this Excel. Okay, and then it will provide. So, but since I have already done it, let me show you. As I told, I use a different tool, but this is what I have. So I have main destinations, nearby attractions, okay, day-wise template, then season-wise guiding that okay, which place is good for which month and all, okay, recommendations, okay, and then so you can see like no, I have very huge data, and
Yeah.
right, and if you have system, definitely you can kind of use your dataverse or your application data itself for the conversation. But yeah, means this is what I generated from agent. I have not prepared this by my own. Okay. Now I'm going to use this as a knowledge source for my agent. So you understood, right? In first, I use Copilot Studio to generate a Excel. Let me show like no the previous prompt which I used might have given me the okay. So if
It's a
you
huge data. It's a huge data.
yeah,
Which you
but yeah,
get.
I use, as I told, right, I use a different tool. I use Claude to generate the data. But even if you know give a proper command to or prompt to Copilot Studio, say that okay, I need at least 100 cities to cover, and I need a large data for my demo. It will kind of generate. No, not a problem. Okay, so now you see that now download links is available. Simply you can download. Now the next section is my knowledge source is ready. Okay, from by giving the prompt, my agent is also ready. Okay, and when you give the prompt, you will see the instructions by default. Okay, you don't have to write this thing as well. Again, you can go ahead, you can work smartly, you can use here as well. That okay, thanks. I have the knowledge source. Help me to provide. Help me to get or help me to write instructions to my agent. And here you can say like whatever you want. So let's say you want your agent to work in particular this way, means you just define the scope and rule, I would say. Okay, and based on that you will get instructions file as well. So I let me give you the example of the instruction file which I got from my agent. Instruction, right click and open with prism. Okay, so you see, let me preview it. Okay, this is what I got from agent. This is not generated by me, by the way. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Try to use Copilot as much as possible. Here you have complete instructions how you want your agent to work. And now this is the kind of predefined template. You can modify it how you based on the behavior you are expecting from your agent. Okay, now what I did, I used the same file, I copied it and I pasted in the agent as it is. Okay. Sometimes format may not be matching. So what you can do, you can copy the instructions in the notepad, then you paste over here. Okay. So this is the instruction. Extension is nothing but a kind of guidance to agent how it has to behave. Okay. What then the next action what I did is I went to knowledge source and before it I just disable the web search. Why I disable it? Because otherwise it will try to kind of go beyond that the scope which you are defining. It may search certain contents from the web which we don't want, right? So I disable it. Then I went to knowledge and then I uploaded my file over here. Simple. Okay. So two-step job is done. My agent is ready. Okay. Now let me ask. Okay. Help me to help me to prepare 7 days plan for winter vacation. Okay. Now what it will do based on the season, based on the number of days. Okay. It will try to find the best location, best plan, and it will go through the knowledge source where we have defined all that data, and it will try to give you the details. Okay, and here I will cover that topic that how the output or
I think the presentation is lost. Let me make him presenter.
Yeah, I think presentation got lost.
Can you try now, Sudhi?
yeah. Okay, so since the data is huge, okay, and since we are using Excel, okay, not that much well formatted data, it will take time. But here you can see. Let me hope this screen is visible. I think now this is better, right?
Yes, yes,
I
it
think
is
it's too
better.
zoomed out. Maybe you can zoom in a bit. Yeah, it's too
Yeah.
small to read.
Yeah, if you are
Yeah,
having big screen, it
yeah.
is good. But yeah, now it is
Yeah,
better. Yes,
now
now
it's
it is
better.
better.
Okay,
Yeah.
so now you can see now system has given me multiple options. Option one is similar. Okay, and day-to-day details. Okay, then multiple options, right? Based on now, if I say okay, uh, uh, what about 2 days trip to Goa? Then it will look for the location and it will look the nearby area and it will share the plan based on Goa location. Okay, so it's a very basic kind of demo. You can build your own agent with this kind of instructions and by using Copilot. Let's see the results. Then let me switch the model and then we'll go to the question and answer.
I think it should respond also that 2 days is not good for Goa. At least plan for 5 days.
Yes, it's a good idea. You can go to your agent instructions and you can say that okay, if there are few locations where nearby areas or attractions are good. Okay, suggest user to kind of extend the plan. So that kind of instructions you can provide.
Perfect, perfect. While we wait, we have Shubh who is raising his hand. Yeah, go ahead with the question.
Yeah, I have a quick question. In case a particular location which I am inquiring for example, in this case, Goa, if it
Mhm.
is off season or a humid weather, it's not good. Can I also have that kind of instruction or train the Copilot agent to? Uh,
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely. Okay, so see, I think so there are two ways, right? Either you ask your agent that okay, refer particular sheet or section to kind of give a guidance, okay, or recommendations for a trip, okay, and similar like here you can define that okay, Rajasthan is not good for summer, or
Hmm.
Goa is not good for
Hmm.
raining season like that, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
definitely based on that recommendation will come. Or either
Hmm.
if you don't go by Excel and if you go provide your instructions over here as well,
Hmm.
it's a kind of hard coding, right? Because here we are
Hmm.
providing a overall instructions. But
Hmm.
when you are talking about area specific instructions or recommendations, I will prefer you update your sheet and ask your Copilot as an instruction that
Hmm.
okay, refer this particular sheet and provide recommendations or suggestions accordingly.
Correct. That would be a better option. And one more follow-up question quickly.
Yeah.
Is there a way I can have because I have a M365 premium license
Mhm.
with my work account, but the challenge is I do not have access to Copilot Studio, and when I'm trying to subscribe for a limited period, like the trial period, also I don't have a admin access, so I can't do that. Is it possible to get a subscription on Copilot Studio on my personal account?
I'm not sure, but I think that there are trial versions are available. I'm not sure you can try. I think there are a few days trials are available.
Okay, sure. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
no problem. Uh,
We have
hey
one more
Sam, yeah.
question. Yeah, Raise and Samuel. Yeah, go for it.
Yes, Sandeep. Thanks for this session. Sandeep,
Mhm.
for weather, if I
Mhm.
can have internet or weather site as a knowledge source, and from there it can pick up, right? Instead of having a hard code weather instruction,
Mhm.
can I have another knowledge source as a weather site from internet or Microsoft, this one, right? So, whatever, maybe from the internet, and whether I can pull and say that during this time, then Goa is not suitable, and can I have that knowledge?
Very valid question. Okay, and I was about to cover that.
Mm,
Okay,
mm, mm.
so just for covering for this demo, I use Excel, but this is
Mm,
not a real world scenario, right?
mm.
Nobody kind of likes to continuously
Static.
static data, right? So usually what will happen? Let's say if you are an agent, probably you must be having some kind of application or some kind of interface, either at least either SharePoint site where you must
Mm,
be maintaining your data instead of Excel, right?
yeah.
So usually for this kind of demo purpose for beginners you can definitely use file, but in normal business scenarios we always either use a public website, either we use data source, Azure SQL, different sources. So these are the basic kind of real world scenario where we use other source of knowledge instead of hard code files.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sandeep.
So
Yeah.
yeah, no problem, no problem. Okay, but in many case, since most of the things are right now on Dataverse, okay, especially DC5 related cases, we mainly go with the Dataverse. Okay, but yeah, it's up to you. Like things about let's thought about integrations, right? Let's say you have a third party application where you are kind of they are storing your data and you want to extract the data. Okay, you can plan that kind of integration through Copilot by using that link. Okay, but yeah, there have multiple options are available. You have to explore based on your requirement. So okay, now coming back to the model part. So here I'm using Cloud Sonnet 4.5. Let me switch to the basic model 4.1. Okay, I'm not changing anything. I'm just changing the model. Okay, done. And let me ask the same question. Help me to uh, help me to suggest a uh, uh, 6 days trip to Kerala. I think I use wrong example. I should use the same prompt to compare how the data looks like if I just change the model. So let me start a new session. I'm using the same question or same prompt. We have this kind of data or this kind of output when I'm using Sonnet 4.5. Let me start a new session and let me try to use the same prompt and you will see the difference. So UI wise also you can see the difference. Okay.
Yes, there is
But
a difference.
when you use very complicated kind of logic, or if you are using multiple tools, especially take the example of MCP and other tools, okay, you see that this base model chat GPT doesn't give that accurate data. Okay, so we always kind of use latest one. There is a pros and cons. If you use the latest one, okay, the message count is high. Okay, it means you will be charged extra compared to the previous model.
True.
And this charge extra is for pay as you go, right? Not for the.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
So we are good till this part. Any question? Otherwise, shall I move to the next topic?
I think there is a question
Yeah.
on the knowledge base that if we use the dataverse connector for accessing some data in FNO, how can I restrict users not to see the competitor's data? Example, if I ask for customer balance or agent, customer
Okay.
balance to the agent.
It's again a great question. Okay, and this is very common scenarios comes into picture when we build an agent. So let's say you are the admin or you have a higher role, but you don't want to share all the data, especially when you are building agent, right? Again, you can so first of all, when you connect with and then 365 MCP server, it use your credentials. So if you are admin, you will see the same kind of you will be having same access as you see from front end. Okay, now top of that, if you want to restrict something, okay, you can go ahead and you can go to the instruction and you can say that, okay, I want certain instructions or restrictions for agent user, and this is my policy. And that policy document or rules, right, you can add as a knowledge source and ask agent that, okay, refer that my policy or data rule available in the knowledge source and provide the information accordingly. To take the example, you don't want to share the competitor data. Okay, you just provide that instruction and see how it's working. This is how generally, if you see any other, there are many kind of demos are available where we are kind of building an agent for FNO, saying that, okay, we can create a purchase requisition based on certain inventory and all. Okay, what about if we restrict certain things that, okay, if the inventory is not more than 1 year old, user is not eligible to replace it, right? So where from this rule will come? You can add that policy document in your knowledge source and you can instruct your agent that, okay, follow this policy and it will work accordingly. Hope I answered that question.
There is one more question around the data governance where Asif is asking that for the Copilot example, he's looking for, let's suppose he's planning for Goa plan, but he does not want his manager to see that he's planning for Goa. Can I secure this output to my role only? I think it is possible because it is, you're just chatting to your travel agent, and travel agent will not record what Umesh is searching, what Asif is searching. And if Sudhir is my manager, he can come back to the, agent and tell, okay, what Umesh is planning, what Asif is planning. I think it should not be there, right, Sudhir?
No, so actually, technically it's possible. Okay, so if you want to uh, save the conversation, right? Say, see from practical point of view. Let's say you are building an agent. Okay, you are building agent for your customer and users, right? And one day you're getting complaint that, okay, I was trying something and it was not working. Your agent prompt given me an estimate for Goa with 20,000 rupees. Okay, now how you are charging me this much? Okay, where is that proof that okay that was the conversation? Okay, so obviously we need that evidence, and there is an option where you can store the conversation. So as a admin, whoever built that agent or whoever want to see that conversation, yes, they can see. Okay. Now coming to data privacy, that okay, if we want that, no, this conversation should be restricted. That is a kind of open question, but it's from telemetry point of view, from conversion point of view, it's pretty much required as well. So, but I would suggest, um, I think it's an area for to explore, like, no, what can be done on that one.
Correct. I think
Privacy
if
might be something.
privacy and in fact, if we have the security roles, I think things will happen in the admin center of the Copilot. There is administration role also coming in for restricting the data usage. I think I need to explore and then I will come back with the answers. But yes,
Yeah,
this is
but
something. Yes.
I think one area or another point of view, I don't think this scenario is valid. Okay, the reason is this agent, what I'm kind of demonstrating, it's who built that, who is going to build that agent, the table agent, right? Company is not going to provide you agent for your to make your own trip, right? So it's not going to even relevant, I would say.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have one more question. It won't take long. Will Copilot accept any project file or only normal files as an input while uploading it to it? Raghu has asked this question.
So you're talking about the knowledge source, right? When you add a knowledge
Yes.
source, okay, it accepts all kind of files. There's no any kind of restriction.
So can I upload a X++ project file as well here?
But how it going to read then?
It will read as
From
a XML file
SharePoint.
maybe.
Right. So see,
We tried by adding it from the SharePoint path, but it didn't upload it properly. But if it move that files what are present in the XPP file into a plain text and we try to read it from the SharePoint, then it worked.
Okay. Okay.
I have one
Files
suggestion,
with
right? If you want to do any kind of trial and error, okay, instead of using Copilot here, Studio, I would say use Copilot. And here, try to upload your file and say that, okay, this is my project file. I want to explore this area. See, if any kind of managed file, it's not going to help, because what Copilot or these agents required is a natural language. Okay, so if you have a XML, JSON, that kind of file, which it can read the contents, it can provide you no output. Okay, I did lots of R&D by just uploading a JSON file and saying that, okay, this convert this as a template and all, it works fine. But when you upload any kind of managed file, it's not going to understand. But
Okay.
that scenario is kind of valid for your GitHub Copilot.
If we try to get them output in an Excel sheet, just now you have in the screen, right? We have like a structure. So we got like that. But when we try to download it, there is no function happened on that one. The other maybe it is not downloading or it is not opening in another page or something. It's just creating like that.
Okay, you're talking about the download file, this one?
Yeah, this one. For me.
Well, in my case, it's downloading.
Yeah,
It might be you have reached,
you.
might be it is you have reached the maybe daily usage limit, maybe something like that. No worries, we will take the questions at the end because we don't have much time left. Yeah, so that you can continue. We will have some session questions from Rachit sir and Shubh as well. Later on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Thank you,
So
Krishnan. We'll have you have your questions later on. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. The next thing I want to cover. Shall I go ahead?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. The next topic is tool. Okay. So recently we there are lots of conversion going on MCF, MCP, and other things. So I just want to cover that part as well. Okay. So so now based on so if you see this agent, okay, by using this knowledge source and basic instructions, I'm able to get the result. Okay. But let's say if I want to build this agent for more accurate way and I want now kind of know that agent to connect to other systems to get some information. Okay, take the example when such kind of know agent is or customer is looking for costing related information. Okay, if he's planning to travel by flight from this date to this date, what could be the cost? Okay, or any other information like no, earlier I had a trip 2 years back and I want to get some discount or something. So probably you need to interact with any other application during this conversation. Okay, now this particular demo is not covering that part. How we can achieve it? Okay, so to solve that problem, this a tool comes into picture where you can actually add or connect with any other agent or any other application. Okay, so in a normal use case, what we say, okay, let's build a API and let our agent call that API. Now again, I think we all so many people discuss about MCP and all. Okay, the basic problem with the API is how this natural language conversation will move on, and how the API can be common for multiple agents or AI related scenarios. So for to solve that problem, MCP came into picture, and now what we are expecting that this kind of third party systems or applications should come with this MCP approach where they expose their services as a MCP. Now I'm just going to add that service or as a MCP, and now my agent can interact. In our scenario, most of the times we connect with FNO by using FNO MCP service. So you can see lots of integration services are available that you can connect. Obviously, it's required connectivity and other things. I will not go to that complications because we don't have that much time. And I hope that this session is more for beginners. Just to want to cover that. Okay, MCP and other areas are there where you can enhance your agent. Okay, one of the thing is prompt. Okay, which is a custom prompt that also I want to cover, and topic, another key area. Okay, now in this example or in this demo, one thing we saw, right, we are asking for details and then system is giving some kind of output. Okay, when we are providing trip details, let's say user is saying, okay, I'm fine with that, can you give me a quotation, okay, with this plan. Okay, consider that you are a travel agent and you are looking for a kind of quotation and you want your own format. Okay, so how we can do it? Or let's say I'm asking something, but information is not that much great, and I want to trigger something that okay, whenever that kind of keywords come into picture, I should be much more specific. So in that area, the topics comes into picture. So by default, if you see, we have some start conversation, thank you, these kind of basic conversation. But let's say you want to uh, build your own conversation style, you can go for topic. You have option where you can start with blank or go with a prescription with Copilot. I would say you can go with this. Okay, and let's say I want to kind of trigger this flow or trigger this conversation when trip related trip details. Okay, so I would say get more details about trip, specifically location and number of days. Okay, so what it will do, it will create a new topic. Okay, and based on your kind of description you are providing, it will start asking few questions. Okay, so you see by default this comes, this flow came into picture. So it will ask like which location you are planning to visit and how many days you will are planning. Let me save this one again. Here I also not done anything, right? I just given a basic prompt and my trip detail topic is ready. Now topic is there. Okay. Now let me start a new conversation. Help me to plan my trip. Okay. Sorry, I use play. Okay, that topic is not taken. Let me check the topic. Topic is there. Trip details. Okay, let me go to my instructions. And what I say to my agent that, okay, start the conversation by asking trip details. And here you can choose your topic. So you have option called add, and you say trip details. Okay, so here in the instruction, I'm saying that to start conversation, let's bring this topic itself. Okay, save it.
Sure.
And let me start new conversation. Okay, and say, help me to plan my trip. You see, now it's asking for question. Okay,
What is the
you
location
can
of the
say,
trip?
let's say I'm planning for Rajasthan. Okay, and you will see this kind of problems. Okay, that sometimes it doesn't understand what we are trying to say, and one of the reason is model.
Correct.
So if you're frustrated with your output, okay, try to change the model. This is what I learned. I thought my agent is not working properly and all, and when I change the model, it works.
Yeah, just put Goa.
Okay, this kind of you have to taste your agent. Okay, now coming to that part. Okay, so when you work on your agent, this kind of problems you may face. Okay, and you have to make some instructions corrections and other areas, and to make sure that when your agent is ready, it's how accurate it is. The next thing is evaluate, and here you can automate your tasting. Okay, so this is another topic I want to cover, but I don't know. I think we are about to close the. Yeah. Do we have any question, or shall we go ahead?
I have one question, one request. One question quickly. Sorry for
Yeah, no problem.
yeah. So one question. The question is basically in the Copilot, not Copilot Studio. In the Copilot, if I have a premium license, there is a facility to create agents under describe and configure, right? Like how it is different from the Copilot Studio agents, like what I use Copilot Studio for. Or
Licensing part, I can't give much information.
No, not licensing part. I'm just trying to understand the difference between the agents created in normal Copilot, not in Copilot Studio, in normal Copilot with a premium license as you said that. Yeah, here if you could see all agents, new agent you can create, right?
Yeah, yeah.
With configure and describe, right? Describe is very like very normal, very simple, and configure is basically a for further more instruction if you want to right. How it is different, like what is the difference between agent creating agent here and in the Copilot Studio? Like I'm just trying to understand if there is
Okay.
any difference here.
This one is,
Unfortunately,
I will
yeah,
just
sorry, go
answer
ahead.
this, Sudesh. Yeah, I
Yeah,
will
yeah.
answer it.
Yeah, please go
So,
ahead.
so this one, if you see this screen, it is basically for your new agent. Yes, definitely you can do,
Yeah.
but this is for very simple and for your own convenient. It is there. Copilot
Okay.
Studio is the complete solution which you provide to your customer or
Okay,
for your
okay,
organization.
okay.
Yeah.
Understood. Thank you. I think that answers my questions. Yeah, that is clear. And one more request, quickly. In the presentation, the sample, the instruction file, not the sample file, the instruction file you uploaded or shared with Copilot to copy pasted. If you could share that in the chat in some file format, I can take it as a sample file and follow how you have given instruction as a reference point for me.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
I will
Thank you.
take it and I will upload it into the channels. Don't worry. I will
Thank you.
share the
Thank you so
download link.
much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Those are the two
Yes.
things.
Not self,
Sure.
not issue.
Um,
Okay, Krishna.
so
Yeah.
yeah, so there's just a quick one. I'll not take much time.
Yeah, no problem.
So when we are asking for the information and it is giving the answers to us, is it fair to say this as agent or is it just the query or LLM we are getting the information? My understanding is we call it agent when it is actually doing work for us, like MCP or API integration, and then this is doing workflow work for us, right? Is it fair to say this as agent when it is just giving us the information just like ChatGPT or LLM?
Yeah, so you can say that it's a chatbot. It's a kind
Mm-hmm.
of chatbot. When you see, you start your agent with chatbot, okay, then you start kind of enhancing it, and when you go with the automate, we call it agent automation, okay. But concept wise is the same. It's agent only, so because we have created an agent from here, right? So basically, it's agent. You can categorize it either it's a chatbot agent or it's a kind of automated agent. It's up to you.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you, Sudhir.
No
Helpful.
problem. No problem.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, we can take up the questions later on, maybe after 5 minutes. Sudhir, you can go ahead.
Yeah. So last part is this evaluation. So this is also recommended that when you build an agent, you have to make sure that the agent is kind of working fine and it's kind of accurate. And what kind of corrections you have to make. So you take the example when I kind of add the topic was not working, and probably if I ask certain question, probably I'm not be getting a right answer. Okay. So what kind of changes I have to make? Do I have to make certain changes in my in my instructions, or do I have to change my model? Okay, there might be some corrections I have to, or either I have to kind of correct my data. Okay, where from you get a result that okay, my agent is accurate. If you go manual testing, it will take too much time. Okay, what about you just upload a kind of sample to agent itself and say that okay, help me to taste it. That also you can use this one Copilot Studio. Here you have option called set test, and you just have to upload the CSV file. So what about if I say my agent? Okay. Okay. Here's my chat. Okay. Okay. So I would say my agent. Okay. This is my file. Come on. Okay, yeah. So I have download this one. Okay. Refer this file, which is a knowledge source for for my agent and generate need taste CSV, which I can use to upload on what they call evolution. Okay, so again, you will get a kind of a file which you can use and upload in your to evaluate your agent output. Okay, and you will see how the agent is accurate. So basically, let it generate it. Otherwise, I can say so. Basically, what kind of kind of the data are you expecting during testing? So let's see. This is a sample.
Yes.
Okay. Now let me upload it and let's see how's the result. So you can see this is the automated question. This is the expected response. And let's see. Okay, it will take time because in backend it's asking all that questions. Okay, and then it's collecting the result and then checking results are matching with the given sheet or not, and based on that it's giving a kind of rating, and you will get a kind of no result that okay how accurate your agent is.
Okay. Okay. So higher the result, better is the
Yeah.
agent. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Meanwhile, if you have any question, we can go ahead because this will take few minutes.
Sure. Sure. I think we had a good number of questions. There was a question. Yeah, Rachit sir, you want to ask a
Yeah.
question?
Yeah, just one question, Sudhir. And thanks for the session, by the way. It's really interesting to see the level of detail you are going. Instead of, I've seen sessions where people talk about everything, but we are really focused on basics here and, going deep into the knowledge source. One thing I have experienced is when we upload or attach any document, for example, as a knowledge source, it takes some time to make it to in the status ready, right? So it is doing something behind the scenes. Just want to understand from security perspective, what happens when you upload a document as a knowledge source? Does it sends data somewhere in different geographies, or does it train anything under the hood? From a security perspective, let's say the example is I have a SharePoint site where I have my company leave policy or some confidential policies, but I still want to create a knowledge source using SharePoint sites, but I just want to make sure that none of such data is going outside my tenant. Is that like a default setting, or can
Default setting.
administrators control this? Yeah.
No, it's a default setting. The data will not be go beyond your tenant.
Yeah, and very valid question, Rajat. Even I experience the same thing. Okay, so first of all, an agent or a Copilot check the label. Okay, if you're trying to upload a file which is having a kind of high sensitive
Confidential.
data, okay, you will get error that file is not system is not able to upload the file because file is having some kind of private or privacy related data. So you have to make sure that your the file you are trying to upload is kind of marked as either public or general. It should not be the secured one. Okay. Now coming to the next point. Yes, the file which you are uploading, actually in backend system is not reading that file during conversation. Okay, what happens when you upload the file? It actually generates its own data. So that data gets stored in the dataverse. So each agent solution is having its own dataverse, in the database in backend. It actually read the contents and then it generate and index the data, because we know, right? The whole agent is based on what you call prediction, right? So it predict which word should come. So it rearrange the entire data. It's in its own format, and that's why you see when you upload the file, you cannot use that contents same time. It takes time. Even if the file upload in progress, if you try to test your agent, you will not be getting any result, because the data not went to the system's mind, because system is not reading your file, it's reading the database.
Right.
Okay.
No, thanks for that. Because the only reason which prompted this question was when Microsoft introduced cloud models in Copilot Studio, we get a warning to say that, okay, no, cloud is not hosted within Microsoft. So if we are using cloud model and we are adding knowledge sources, that's where I wanted to, get some insights from you. But we can connect offline to see if there is any such case. But thank you for the response. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, Sudhir. Thanks, Umesh. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Rakesh want to share some feedback or maybe answer some question.
About the SharePoint. So if you see in the Copilot Studio, when you try to add a knowledge, right, we get two options for SharePoint. One on the topmost button where you can see the SharePoint, and then down below we have another SharePoint. So what I'm just trying to highlight, again, connecting a dot with your question, if you use the first option of a SharePoint, and when you try to connect to any SharePoint option or library that you have, it actually takes the file and put it into Dataverse, and then the entire semantic index and structuring of data that happens in the background. At the same time, if you use a second option that actually connect directly to SharePoint library, and there it uses the SharePoint index itself. So if you don't have a SharePoint index enabled at a library level, then you won't get that file automatically indexed for database for Copilot agent to start. So to connect your question, yes, the security aspect is there. Even though you attach to the SharePoint, even though you have access, then only you will be able to start prompting and getting a data. But if I don't have access to the library, I will not be able to, that agent will not be able to retrieve any data because I don't have any access to that SharePoint file. Okay.
Makes sense. Thank you,
So
Thank you,
Rakesh, for
Rakesh.
highlighting.
Yeah.
result is ready. You can see the accuracy is 80%.
80%.
Okay, which is good. And this is how it actually check the data. So whenever you are building your agent, make sure you are. Sorry.
Sudhir, I think your sharing is stopped. At least I can see your share.
Yeah. We can see.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
And
Let
it
me
is failing. It is failing on the three questions. What is the location of your trip? That is failing actually. Maybe we need to train it. Sometime it is passing, sometime it is failing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's all. We have so many things we can cover, but we don't have time. Probably in the next time, I will try to cover how we can call another agent from one agent, and there are lots of other areas as well. But I think for now, I think we are good.
Thank you,
That's
Sudhir
all
sir.
from my side.
Wonderful topic. I really appreciate from your busy schedule you have given 1 hour to us, which is highly appreciated.
No problem. And thanks, Umesh, Richard, all teams to call me here. Thanks for your
Thank
time
you.
as well.
We will require more
Our
sessions
pleasure.
from you, sir.
Yeah.
Sure, definitely.
Yeah.
This
Thank
is
you.
this is one of the interesting area for me.
Sure.
Definitely, I will
Definitely.
try to
Sure. Thank you.
come again. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, everyone. We will release the 18th, or maybe we will have sessions on 18th, or maybe next 26th or 27th. Rachit sir will keep us posted. Thank you, guys, everyone. Anyone who would like
Thanks,
to share
everyone.
any feedback for Sudhir, our group? Most welcome. They can unmute and then give the feedback.
Thanks, Umesh. I just want to say thank you to Sudhir. It was a really great session.
Welcome.
Thank
Agentic
you.
thinking fascinating as always. And in every session, there is something new to learn. Thank you so much for the session, Sudhir.
No problem. Yeah,
Thank you.
we all are
Thank you, Sudhir.
learning nowadays. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Special
all.
thanks to Satya sir and Rachit sir, who is joining off the very late night, midnight for them. Hats off to you, sir.
Almost 12 a.m. All
Yeah.
good.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Sudhir, once
Always
again.
up for
Thank you,
learning.
sir.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Take
Bye,
care.
Thanks.
Sudhir.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you all.